welcome to the Blueprints podcast.
Hey, you asking some great questions. Some great questions. Because he worked hard. I did not do any of that. But this is great. I feel like this was a therapy session too. No, seriously. Those questions with somebody, they could really, really help way more than I could.
All right, also welcome to our first entrepreneurial episode of the Blueprints podcast. We got a very special guest today, my friend Joshua Johnson, who's a entrepreneur, restaurateur. He's in real estate.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with your background. Like, who is Joshua Johnson from as early as you can remember it? So you were about maybe like 10 or 12 years old.
Let me see. Joshua Johnson, born here in Orlando. Okay. Grew up pretty much just like any other typical middle class kid. A lot of basketball, a lot of football, a little soccer, a little tennis. Pretty tennis. Much my mom would put me in anything, keep me out of trouble. YMCA, junior magic, little league, but basketball was my true love up until I was like 9 or 10. So yeah, pretty much I was just really a sports kid all the way up until 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and on, really. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. And you have siblings, right?
I have an older brother, Corey. He's 10 years older than me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, somebody was a mistake. I don't know if it was him, me. I don't know, somebody.
Okay. And what did you said you leaned more towards basketball. Why is that after all the things you tried?
That's a good question. I honestly do not know. I think that's maybe what I was best at, or maybe even looking back, that's the only sport my mom could afford after being in sports for so many years. Like, hey, choose one, or maybe she chose for me. Mm-hmm. Not sure, but yeah, probably a little bit of both. Like my mom just being able to afford one sport after years and years of other sports, and me just kind of gravitating towards basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And who was your basketball idol?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant?
Yeah. Ever since he came in 96, I started really taking it more seriously around 8 or 9. My older brother was a Laker fan, and I liked whatever he liked growing up. And so it was a perfect match made in heaven, just watching my brother root for Kobe. He root for Kobe, so I like Kobe. Yeah, and after 3-4 years of really watching him, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, I love this guy.
Oh, that's kind of surprising because my guy was Michael Jordan. We're the same age.
Yeah. I think maybe because Jordan probably maybe used to beat up on his team, and so he just wanted to be different and choose somebody else possibly.
Yeah. So
he was prime. Everyone was a Jordan fan when he was.
Of course.
Magic. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, I know your brother technically longer than I've known you.
Yeah, I forgot that too. Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic because we met like a lot later on because you used to work at the restaurant that your brother used to work at.
Mm-hmm. Celebration Cafe.
What ages were you when you were there?
I think it was 18 to 20 or 19 to 20. It wasn't that long.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I guess after you left, I kind of took your spot or whatever.
Okay.
So we missed each other by like a couple weeks.
I left there in 2010 in June.
Damn, I don't even know. Mm-hmm. And what was high school Josh like? Like middle school, junior high school Josh?
High school, I was a very cocky, arrogant, know-it-all kid. And all because of me idolizing Kobe Bryant. Because he was also very cocky and arrogant. Yeah. But little did I realize was that it was a reason he was that cocky. Because he worked hard on his craft. I did not do any of that. So people who love me. But there were a lot of people who just like, why is this kid so arrogant? And I put on this bravado, but like I said, it was really like in my mind, like I'm just acting like Kobe. Like it is what it is. Middle school Josh was a little bit more reserved. I feel like in middle school you're trying to learn yourself, who your friends are, do out with girls, sports, homework, parents. So I was pretty reserved, still pretty much into basketball, but not as much as I was in high school. In elementary, kind of the same thing, just kind of figure it out. I was a class clown. I still am around certain people.
Yeah.
I'm a little more quiet now with people I don't know, but with people I do know, I'm loud, make jokes, always goofy. So yeah, that was Josh from grade school to middle school to high school.
What about like study-wise? Like, were you a studious, like...
Not at all.
Determined.
I'm pretty sure on every report card from 6th grade to 12th grade, it had in danger of failing.
What?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I did not like to... Here's the thing. this is the problem of why you shouldn't idolize. If you're going to idolize somebody, make sure you really understand their whole scope. But I thought since I was good at basketball, I was just going to go to the NBA. Because in movies, it makes it seem like, oh, if you're good at sports, you don't have to do schoolwork. I legit thought I didn't have to do schoolwork. So I don't know if you remember in high school, you have to get a 2.0.
Yeah.
I was always like a 1.8, 1.9, and then I was charismatic, so I would go to a teacher like, hey, what can I do for extra work?
Extra credit.
And get the 2.0, like just barely since 6th grade.
So you play basketball in high school then?
Oh yeah.
Did they require a minimum 2.0?
Yeah, they required it. And every year I barely got it. Every year I barely got it.
Was your mom or your older brother, were they strict on you, or were they kind of just like, eh?
Not at all. My mom probably never asked to check my homework or report card ever. Yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. It all turned out. All right.
It turned out okay. Yeah. You're just like, I'm the authority. All right, cool.
Right. 2.0, I'm getting
nobody's looking
right through them.
My high school coach tried to pull a Coach Carter, and we needed a 3.0 to play.
Ooh.
And the teachers, I went to a much smaller school, and so the teachers were reporting directly to him.
Yeah.
So if we were missing a report or got like a C on a test, he was like, yo, Campo, what are you doing? And I'm like,
so you kept the 3.0?
Yeah, man. No, my father and my mother were so strict about it that I just couldn't afford to not have at least like a B and everything. If I got a C, we had a problem.
That's good.
We had a problem.
Worked out for you too.
It did.
Yeah.
So it was part, both because of my parents and because of basketball. And if I wanted to play, then I had to get the grades, right? So let's continue on. You graduated in high school, top of your class. Wait.
That's not true for sure.
Did you go to college, or did you just go straight into the workforce? Or when was your first job?
Out of high school, like I said, I thought I was going to the NBA. Did a couple of junior college tryouts.
Oh, okay.
Still thought I was going to go to the NBA. No one offered me anything.
Not even a bag of chips.
Not even a bag of chips. No airheads. And I went to Valencia for one semester. And I only dropped out because I didn't want to do math. I didn't understand math. Math felt like a foreign language. And so I dropped out. My first job was at Checkers Rallies in Altamont Springs.
How old were you then?
I was 18 years old, but really lost in the world. Like, I didn't know what, if it wasn't basketball, obviously, once I figured out I wasn't going to make it in basketball, I had no idea what my life was going to be like. Zero.
Okay, so then fast forward to you're at Checkers.
Yeah.
Then we go to Market Street.
I'm at Checkers. Before Market Street, I'm working at a golf course called Orange Tree. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's over by Universal. My uncle worked there, got me a job there. I was a cart boy. After, unfortunately, he passed away. And when he passed away, they pretty much got rid of everybody he brought on for whatever reason. Called my brother. I asked him to get me a job at Market Street. No one wanted to give me one because he didn't want me to mess up his reputation. Because at this point, I didn't have the strongest reputation of being responsible, being on time. I didn't have any of that. So he really didn't want to give me a job, which I understood. But my mom begged him, I begged him, and he finally gave me a job as a dishwasher. So my first day was a dishwasher. And Rosa. Rosa, she walked in, saw me in dishwash, and she went straight to my brother, and she said, your brother cannot be a dishwasher. Like, he's too pretty, like, he's not a dishwasher. Let's at least make him a food runner. And my brother agreed, and I was a great fruit runner for 2 years. Literally, me and my brother talk about this. That job taught me so much. I don't know if you remember Sundays at Market Street. Crazy. And so Saturday nights, I knew I couldn't drink, I couldn't party, I couldn't stay up late watching whatever. It really taught me like some true core values that I didn't know at the time, but Market Street really taught me a lot about life. Yeah. In fact, that was the first time I remember. We were so busy, I was getting lightheaded, and I told my brother, I'm like, I'm feeling sick. He was like, you're not feeling sick, you're working. You're working hard. This is what it feels like.
No way.
And not until, I don't know what the timeline, but maybe a year or two, whatever it was, I realized like that's what it was. Like I wasn't used to exerting I played basketball, but
it's a different type of exertion.
A different type. Like I was like really like dropping. I was like so tired. But yeah, Market Street really some good core values there, man.
I agree, man. I agree. Those, me and your brother, man, we had it out a couple of times in Market Street.
Yeah.
You know what tripped me out the first time, like when I started there, I didn't know who they were, but obviously, in a little town like Celebration, you have those regulars that come in every morning or every Saturday, and so the servers knew their orders. When I'm starting, I don't know anything. I'm just doing, whatever I need to do. That's it.
Right.
I'm not going above and beyond. And this lady asked me for a Sunday spoon, long stem spoons, to eat her oatmeal. And I was like, that's like for a parfait, or a Sunday, like it's a big long spoon.
Yeah. And
I was like a Sunday spoon? And she goes, yeah. And then one of the servers there, I think it was Samira. She was like, yeah, get her the spoon because it's like, and the English muffin, had to be just the right amount of burnt. It couldn't be too light and it couldn't be too dark.
Man.
And trying to make that thing
in the same seat.
Yeah, the same little corner booth.
Same little corner booth. They better have their booth. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, looking back on it, I guess they weren't too bad.
Yeah.
Because they were never mean. They were just very particular about that. So, like, to your point, I learned a lot of things working at Market Street too. You know, how to deal with people, how to work in chaos and try to keep control.
Chaos. Yeah.
That was a very fast-paced environment. So there wasn't, Saturday, Sundays, there wasn't a lot of time to just lean. Like, it was turning. I'm sure you were there because Mo and Yusef were there.
Them boys don't play. What? Stacking plates like, bro, why you stacking the plates? You see that I'm going as fast as I can. And the plate, now this plate's hot.
Yeah, because they stacked it up so high, it's too hot to the heat lamp, so you grab it and you're putting it right here in your arm. And you had the burn marks.
I probably still got some burn marks if you peel back some skin. Oh, man.
And when I started, man, it was tough for me because I had never worked in such a I worked at a restaurant before doing the same thing, but it just wasn't so fast paced, and the plates weren't coming out boiling.
Right, but yeah, man, you really brought some memories.
Yeah, man,
like some good and bad.
So now let's continue. We brought back some memories about Market Street Cafe.
Yeah.
Now we're on the next phase of life, which is for you.
I moved to New York to be a model and an actor. When I was driving, I forget where I was driving at, heard something on the radio about some talent like network that was in town. You probably used to hear like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. And so it was like $500. I didn't have $500. Asked around family members, scrounged up $500. So the premise was they gave you a number. And you pretty much just walked around the table. Apparently there were different agents from New York and California just around the table. So you walk around this mountain, went down there, and everyone, maybe 98% of the people I talked to say, yo, this is a scam. Like, you're wasting your money. No one ever gets signed. This is a scam. I'm like, at this point in my life, yeah, I'm working at Market Street, but I really don't have no real aspiration or goals or anything. So I'm like, I have to do something else because Orlando's just not for me. My aunties were telling me I look good, so you should be a model. So I'm like, well, if they're telling me I should be a model, I should be a model. So I go around the table, end up getting 5 people that are interested in signing me. I emailed them later on, but only one manager was actually really interested in signing me. And I signed and I moved to New York in that 6-month time. But hear this, 500 people went to this conference talent show thing. 10 people got chosen. And so I understood why people call it a scam, but instead of the scam, they should have said, like, it's a very low probability that you actually get signed. Like, out of those 5 people, 4 people really weren't interested. I feel like they had to reach like a little code, like, oh yeah, we're interested, but not really interested. Yeah, we're gonna call you back. Never call you back. Only one person. So yeah, I moved to New York in that 6-month time.
Did you have like a plan in place? Did you like how was that transition from like, okay, I'm carrying hot plates on my forearms to now I'm gonna model or I'm gonna act?
It's almost so much different stories that I could tell to make you understand, but it's so hard to explain. Let me just say, so I had never been to New York, never been on a city bus, never been without my parents, and moved up there with my best friend. And stop me if I start rambling. No. Moved up there with my best friend. I'm like, hey, I'm going to. He wanted to be a rapper at the time. I'm like, hey, I just got signed. It'd be really cool if you move up here with me. We could take over. We 19, 20 years old. We could about to take over like New York City. He's like, yeah. And so I go on Craigslist and I looked up apartments in New York. So I'm like, looking at these prices, I'm like, who's paying? Like, what is this? And these are for rooms. These aren't even...
These are in apartments.
Apartments.
Like
these are just
shared
rooms. We're talking about 13, 14, 1,500. I'm coming from... I was living with my mom at the time, paying, I think, $250 a month. So that's what I'm thinking these rooms are going to go for. Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm looking up Craigslist, and I forget who I had a conversation with, and I said, hey, man, I can't. I'm like, I'm probably not going, man. I can't afford this. And they're like, how about you look at New Jersey or Jersey City? I'm like, what is that? And they're like, well, it's not New York, but it's right next to it. I'm like, okay. So sure enough, I looked up New Jersey, and Newark, New Jersey came in.
That's where I was born.
Okay, so I'm looking at Newark, and I found a room for $500. Now, mind you, I'm splitting it with my friend. I'm like, this is $250. Like, I found a room. Just like home. Emailed the guy. He emailed me back. We talked on the phone. I'm like, hey, I'm moving to be a model in New York. In my mind, when I left Market Street, I was signing autographs, David. I thought I was famous. I was signing autographs on my last days. Not only was I signing autographs, they were interested. Samara, all of them asked me for my autograph because they thought I was...
You give me a headshot, or would you sign a napkin or something?
I was signing anything. Anything. Pamphlet. I was just signing anything. My brother's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm famous. What's up? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I emailed the guy from Newark. And I said, I'm about to be he cuts me off immediately and says, do you have the money? I was like,
straight to the point.
Straight to, as you know, up north, straight to the point. He's like, do you have the money? Can you send the deposit today? Because if you can't, I'm going to get off the phone. I'm a Florida kid. I'm like, I'm taking him back. But at the same time, I'm like, I do got the money. So I'm like, yeah, I got the money. He's like, can you send it now? Western Union. Okay, I sent the money Western Union. And he's like, all right, when you coming? I'm like, I got to buy the flight. I got to buy the flight first. And again, I'm saying this story just because this was my first introduction of up north. And just like, this is what it is, in your face. Oh, man. I hated it, but it's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I was like, in my show, I just knew I needed something like that.
It's like a wake-up call, to be honest with you.
Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, he's finally found the flight. He said, okay, I'll pick you up from the airport. I got in the room, and when I tell you, this house was the most filthy, drugs, prostitutes. I was in the hood. And again, coming from Florida, we weren't rich, but we didn't live in the hood either. And so it was my first introduction into just living up north, not having that much money, and trying to figure it all out. So for the first 2-3 years, I lived in Newark. And just no pillows. Like, I would put food in the refrigerator. People would eat it.
How many people were you sharing this space
Oh
with?
my gosh, maybe 15 people.
Oh, so it was a big
house.
It
was a big, one of the Victoria style houses. I lived with 15 people, dude, and every other day the cops were there because there was so many domestic disputes. Because he would rent out rooms. He didn't care about check stubs, and so it was the worst. Cops were there every other day. People were like doing crack, like right in front. It was the hugest wake up call.
Big time.
Oh, it was a wake up call. Everything, cinema, anonym, whatever would wake up call me, it was everything of that. I tell this, not specifically this story, but I always say, like, that is what started, like, how I am now. Just it's just so hard to explain. But yeah, that was a wake up call. And just
I know what you mean, because I think, I was born in Newark. I lived in Elizabeth, which is in Jersey as well, right? And even though I grew up, like, my teens here, people are like, oh, you're a Floridian, which I don't dispute, right? Because I've been here, I think, like 20 years now, 25 years, right? But there's certain things that I still have ingrained in me.
Your core.
That it's not going to change where I came from, right? But I think for people who are born in a much slower paced environment like Florida, and they go and see that, it's just like either you adjust or you fold.
Oh yeah.
There's no really in between of like, maybe that's not everybody. No, that's everybody. Everybody's gonna. It's just hustle and bustle. You're running. You're moving. You're running. You're moving. Everybody's trying to get to the next tryout or the next whatever or the job or the this or the that. So it doesn't move like here. Here everything is a little slow. Everybody's like, hey.
My friend moved, which I was splitting the $500 rent. He folded, and nothing against him, we cool now, but he folded at a time when I really, really needed him. Not only did he fold, he said, I'm about to go visit my mom. Never came back after 2 weeks. After I thought I was going to split the rent with him for however long we were going to live there. Left 2 weeks. Just left. Now, this is my best friend. Like, I'm talking about like this. Like, I'm like, at least I'm not here alone in this scary new environment. We have no sheets on our bed. We got no pillows. We got little money. We don't know anybody. We barely know how to walk down to the PATH train. Like, we don't know anything, bro. And just like that, I'm alone after 2 weeks.
But you gotta figure it out, man.
I had to.
You gotta at least try to figure it out. But and so what did you do for, like, how soon was your first gig booked? Because I mean, you're going there probably with minimal money in your pocket.
Minimum.
At that point, you're counting with $250, and now you bumped up to $500.
Man, you bringing back some memories. Yeah, good and bad. So sometimes I want to punch you, and then I want to. Wait, repeat your question one more time.
So, what was your first gig? What was your first role to where you had to make, so you made some money enough to pay rent?
I thought moving to New York, I had signed as a model. I thought that the modeling agency was just going to send me money. No one ever said anything like that to me. Oh. Why did I think that? I have no idea. Well, so within those first 2 weeks, I did go to my manager's house. I signed paperwork, did headshots. Everything was legit. And from that moment, like me signing the contract, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna see you on auditions and this." And in my head, I'm thinking, every audition, I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna make it. Like I'm doing this. Why did I think they were just gonna pay me? I have no idea.
So wait. So you moved to New York because you got, I guess, signed, right?
Right.
But you didn't explore that before you moved. You didn't explore like, okay, when am I gonna get my first thing? You just kind of like.
I thought I moved up there, I was gonna be on TV. It sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous, and that is how ridiculous it is.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you were, 19, 20 years old at the time.
I mean, I was, but dang, like, some kind of minimal.
I mean, I guess. I think it goes back to, that, point where, coming up here, you think, the whole world moves the way it is down here, but it's not.
It not. And then also, I was arrogant and cocky, too. So I'm really thinking, I'm going to go up. My first audition was for Wendy's, by the way. And so while I was there, I took a headshot. Within a month up there, my first audition, I still got the email on my phone right now. Got the email. The traits were likable, friendly guy. I was going to be a crew member. Like, hey, how may I help you? Welcome to Wendy's, part in the commercial. Never forget this, man. So I get the audition. It's a New York address. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get here. Now, this was before Google Maps.
This is MapQuest.
And this is a little bit after MapQuest. But there still wasn't maps on your phone. And so I downloaded this New York Transit app on how to get there. End up leaving 6 hours early because I'm like, I don't know where I'm going, but I know I need to be here at 3 p.m. or whatever. Take the path, get off. I'm literally, if you would have saw me, I wish I would have had it all recorded. I'm just walking. I don't know what I was doing. Walking directions. Now, I don't know if you know this. There's a part in Brooklyn where there is street numbers, like 24th Street, 25th, 26th Street. So I get to the address, but it's a Brooklyn 42nd Street, not a Manhattan 2nd Street. I knock on the door, say, hey, I'm here to audition. Show them the email. They're like, it's not here, bro. It's in Manhattan. I'm like, how do I get there? Shut the door in my face. So I end up going to Bodega, asking money. End up going to the audition. Got to the audition. Big room. Have you ever been to an audition?
No.
Okay,
so this is about as close as I get to an audition.
All right, so picture this, but picture 5, 6 well-dressed people just staring at you. You're about to audition, so they're right here looking at us. And the room is nice, it's bright, it's New York, it's Manhattan money. I'm sitting here, they ask me my name, I immediately forget my name. Because I'm so taken back.
You were intimidated.
I was intimidated. I was like, what is all of this? Because this is Wendy's. Yeah, Wendy's is just some fast food restaurant. But in the TV world, it's spending a lot of money on marketing, dude. It's a lot of money.
You're not talking to an assistant manager at the local Wendy's. You're talking to
the head of the head. Right. And I'm like, what's your name? And I'm like, they looked at me and said, thank you for your time. I walked out the door and I couldn't.
That was it?
That was it. That was it, bro. Couldn't get my name out. That was it. That was my start of my model.
That was your 15
career.
Seconds of fame.
That was my 15 seconds of fame. I don't know how this happened, but that situation, the people taking my juice, the door not locking the bathroom, no sheets, it just started to mold me into the up north, can't let this happen anymore. I have to come in more prepared, and I have to adjust faster. I have to adjust. But yeah, that was my first audition, was for Wendy's, and I couldn't remember my name. That was the start of everything.
So when did your next shot?
My next shot, I don't remember, but if the Wendy's commercial say I did 10%, my next one, I was at a 75%. Like I came in like.
You remember your name?
I remember my name. I don't know if it was from me watching. If it was me watching, because obviously I was a huge Kobe fan, but I guess maybe at this time now I'm starting to read like how hard he works and what he's got to do to make it, and I don't know if it's like maybe seeing this hit or whatever it was, but I realized I have to like put the work in. I got to figure things out. One of my key moments was growing up in Florida. I was always one of the better good-looking people. Whether it was at school, doctor's office, grocery store, McDonald's, wherever it was, I was always pretty much a really good-looking guy. Get to New York, get to the audition room, dude, there's 100 of me. And this time I had hair, waves. Everyone had nice, bright teeth. Attributes.
Jawline.
Everybody. So I'm like, because I walked into the audition room expecting I was going to see people from Florida. I'm like, they ain't got nothing on me. I didn't see that, bro. I saw a bunch of meat. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And so that was another light bulb that I could have folded, because I'm like, I have competition.
This ain't it.
This is real competition. Yeah. This ain't it. I'm not, but I didn't think like that. For whatever reason, I'm like, I got to get serious. I got to start working out. Yeah.
So what, I know a lot of entrepreneurs like read or listen, or like, was there a specific book or like saying or something that you're like kind of applied and you're like, man, I can't fold, and this is like you just kept saying to yourself, repeating to yourself?
It was literally just day by day living in Newark. It was just living,
and just figuring it out,
seeing the city, meeting friends, meeting rich people, meeting poor people, playing basketball in the hood, playing basketball in the rich area, having friends, networking, and just taking something out of a little bit of everybody that you meet. Every little experience, whether it's bad or good, like you're taking a little bit out of it. Stepping stone. But you don't even know you're stepping.
No, you don't.
Because at the same time, listen, I'm still 20, 21, 22. I can drink in New York. Like, it's still like, I'm still not taking it as seriously. So it's just a whole bunch of experiences is that made me. So it's never like that one, like, it was
that light bulb moment was like,
never.
Oh, I got it now.
Never. It was just a whole bunch of
Yeah.
Now, how I knew to take stuff in, to this day, I still don't know, because I get a lot of people, not you, but I get a lot of people, hey, what's your secret? And I'm like, I can't teach you because New York taught me to teach you. Okay, go live in New York for 12 years. That's my teaching.
Yeah,
go live there. Go live there. And you're going to see, and you'll become me. Yeah. You'll become me. Yeah, there was no saying. It was just different experience. It was crazy. Just like that.
Funny you say that, what's the secret? I have, the agents now that I have with me, and even some other agents from outside, they're like, in the insurance, like, how do you do it? And I'm like, if I had to copy and paste the information I have here to give to you, that'd be amazing, right?
Yeah.
But if I sit down and explain it to you, you're probably gonna remember like 10% of what I'm gonna tell you, because it's the experience.
It's experience.
Like if I tell you something, you're gonna remember it. By the time you walk out that door, it's gonna be gone. And until you experience it and have to deal with it and work through it, that's when you're gonna be like. And it's going to stay ingrained in here, like, forever. But if I tell you, you're just going to be like, oh, but you're not going to understand it. Because you haven't dealt with it.
And then, not only that, it's like, I posted the other day, it's like, say, if I walked in here and you were having a bad day. Some people would emphasize, but I'm a cat that if you're having a bad day, I try to relate to everything that you have going on. I won't make you feel a way about having a bad day. You will just feel comfortable having a bad day. Great day, rich day, poor day. I can adjust. That is one of my key things.
Yeah, I think, and you learn that again, I think, through experiences. Because see, some people I don't think ever have to adapt. So they don't know how to navigate certain things. And I think in the moment, and you can probably attest to this, like in the moment, you don't really realize what you're doing or what's going on. But then somebody's got to like tell you, like, oh, hey man, thanks. You got me out of my slump. Or you're like, but what did I do? You don't realize it. And so somebody puts it in perspective, somebody tells you, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess that did happen, or I guess I did that, and then you try to backtrack and replay, like, oh, what did I do?
Right.
And it's just, sometimes it's just having a conversation, sometimes just letting them air it out, sometimes you're just sitting there not saying anything, and just listen. Right? So now, let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
How did your family take this, or like, what happened, there? Because, I mean, at 19, like, at 20 years old, my mom was going to be like, hell no, you ain't going. I mean, mind you, I have family in New York, but if I didn't, you're not going alone? What are you, crazy?
So there's another time where if I was an emotional guy, I would probably be crying, but I'm not. They laughed. My brother, he looked at me and he said, "You've never been on a city bus." And then I know he probably felt like he came from a good place, but oh man, this was my older brother was like my hero, like my 10 years older, like whatever he liked growing up, you know how it is. Lake Cowboys, you know me. He just said, "You've never been on a city bus, you've never lived alone, like you're not moving to New York." And that arrogance and cockiness really paid off for me, because as he said that, that's when I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show you, but not knowing that I'm really gonna show him, but just me being naive and cocky, which worked out. But me being naive and cocky, I'm gonna show you, but show them, but you know what I'm saying? And my mom was like, "You trying to still do that little modeling thing?" I'm like, "Dude." And then my dad was like, "You're going up there to move in with some girl that we don't know." And I'm like, "What?" Like, again, this is pre-social media. Like, I have no way to get in contact with anybody from New York. Like, only people I've met from New York, they live here now. And so it was a bunch of that. And so that's what it was with my family. Everyone laughed and didn't think it was going to be for real, or thought I was like joking around, or it was bad. It was
how did that make you feel at that at that age?
Oh man,
did you care about it? It was like,
I cared so much. But yeah, back to your question. Yeah, they all laughed. It made me feel horrible. It made me feel very down on myself. But at the same time, that naive and cockiness was just it's really started brewing in me that I knew I was going to figure it out. I don't know.
You just knew.
You
didn't know how. You just had it.
I didn't know how. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know anybody up there. I didn't have any secret money nowhere. I just knew. I don't know why, but I believe something got into that. I just knew I was going to make it. I just knew it.
Man, that's awesome. Man, so how long were you? You were up there for a while.
Well, I was there for all my 20s and my early 30s. Not early. I was there for like 12 years.
And so, but you did end up landing some roles, because obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, I end up have a show on Netflix right now. I end up being on Disney Plus. I end up with a couple of national commercials. After being in New York, I realized that you didn't have to be on TV to make money. In New York, there's so much people trying to start small clothing brands. So I have like little like Mondays. I photo shoot for this guy. I photo shoot for this guy, $100. So I did very well for myself, but what really ended up happening was me being a model and actor, being charismatic, was meeting people. That's why I'm here, blessed enough to have you have me on the podcast, and how I'm here in life. It was just meeting people and networking people and just picking their brain. That's what modeling and acting did. So yeah, I landed plenty of roles, but it wasn't enough to be famous or do anything. It was the people.
Yeah, but if you did well for yourself, I mean, that's a success.
I did. Yeah, that's true. Man. Yeah,
that's a success. And I think people sleep on that component of just like meeting people and just networking. You're only as good as like the people you know.
That's it, dog.
Because if you don't step out of the box, and like I can talk about my parents. They didn't know because they're South American. And so coming over here, you got to kind of figure that out yourself, and you put yourself in positions to figure that out. And you put yourself in rooms with people that knew more than you. And I think that's something that's slept on. And I think a lot of people overthink that step because, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm working at Checkers. I'm working at McDonald's. I can't pay rent. So get in some rooms. People are smarter than you.
Yeah.
And just talk. It doesn't have to be a whole entry conversation. You have to go there with like a plan. Just, hey, what's up, man? How are you? What do you do?
Right. But people these days, I feel like people think they're just there's so many different variables, but a lot of people think they're just so cool. That's ego cool. It's an ego. Right?
Yeah, it's an ego thing of like, I don't need no help. I'll figure it out. And then, 10, 20 years pass by and it's just like, you still figuring it out, bro. Like, what are we doing? And I'm just like, when are you going to have the aha moment? Because I, for one, and I'm sure you can probably follow suit with this, I failed to believe that you were put on this earth to be a greeter at Walmart or a cashier at McDonald's.
And they know that. That's the problem. People, if someone watches that, I'm like, oh, he's talking down. But they know that. That's the difference between me, you, and them. It's like, yeah, we worked in restaurant business, but as we were working there, we knew that this ain't the end. A lot of people work in restaurants and then still build up this whole grand scheme in their head of what they're doing, and then go to the greeting job, hate it, but then go home and still like, no,
they don't figure it out. My day's over. Turn on Netflix, and then that's it.
So it's not what you imagine in here. Why don't you just try to try to do it?
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's it. Just try to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And if you fail, what happens? I'm sure there's another greeting job somewhere. I'm sure there's another cashier at another fast food place. But people just don't take the risks.
Don't take the risks.
I took the risks having kids.
Hmm.
So like I think that's even like if I didn't have any kids, man, I love my kids to death.
Yeah.
But like I would be trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Mm-hmm.
And people kind of laugh, oh, you know, you do what you do because you have a family, and it's like I don't do what I do because I have a family. I do because I do because I'm a hustler.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would want more. I wasn't born to just be some regular schmegular dude.
Mm-hmm.
So now you had a successful career doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you move back to Florida?
What made me move back was because my restaurant wasn't doing well. That's the reason why I moved back. Because when I opened up my restaurant, I was actually still living up north. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was still living up north. So remember all that naive stuff that I said? I was pretty much still on that. I've already figured like I did my little acting gigs with people laughing at me, right? And so now since I did that, I think that I could literally do anything. But I still didn't know enough about the restaurant business. I was looking at the sales, and the sales were not where they were supposed to be at. And yeah, that's why I moved back, because I'm like, I don't know if the chef isn't doing the right stuff. I don't know if the workers are doing the right stuff. I don't know if the food's hot and fresh. I have no idea. And so that's the only reason why I moved back, is because it wasn't the restaurant wasn't being it wasn't being ran correctly.
Okay, so you had to kind of be in control of that, that ship, and okay. So now talk to us about the bubble.
Okay.
Because you were one of the few.
Yeah.
I don't know if only or few.
Oh yeah. There's only one.
Soul food though.
Yeah. Only one soul food.
Because I know they chose a couple of them, but and they had like their own barber or whatever. But soul food wise, you were the only soul food restaurant chosen to serve the players in the NBA bubble when that happened here in Disney. How was that? How did that transpire? What did you learn from that?
Man, whoever you believe in is whatever helped me, because I opened up in January 2020, got a contract with the NBA. When I got the contract with the NBA, I was still living up north, so that helps the timeline. I think we got the contract around June, July. That's usually when the championships happen.
So probably like what, April, May?
Maybe April, May. I was still living up north, and I got an email that said it was an NBA trademark on it. Said, "Hey, would you be interested in doing the bubble?" Been in New York for as long as I thought it was a scam.
Of course.
I'm like, I've been open for 6 months. There's no way in hell that NBA is I'm on their radar. Like I immediately put trash and sent that up immediately.
So you didn't even like play around with the idea.
I didn't even play around with it.
It's a possibility.
It wasn't a possibility, because I'm like, there's no way. It's no way. You could bet me $900 trillion. I'm like, that email is fake. Next week, my brother calls me and says, "Hey man, somebody's from the NBA is calling you." I said, I'm not sure how they found my number, but just block the number because it's not real. I don't know what kind of joke they're running. I got another email, and I'm like, all right, let me call this number. And I'm expecting to be Prince Jubai. You ever get those emails? This is Prince Jubai. Send me 10,000 and I'm gonna send you 100 million type thing because my bank is, all this BS stuff. And so I called a number, and it's like, "Hey, this is the NBA, da-da-da." And I'm like, "Hey, I keep on getting this email about the bubble. Can you give me some more information about it?" She runs down everything. It's one thing I did pick up. I'm like, "Oh, this is organized. This is for real. This is for real." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I hang up the phone, go back to my trash, look at the email, da-da-da-da-da-da, and end up, accepting the offer. Found out that the only reason why we were chose for the bubble is because, I don't know if you know, but the players were complaining about the food. Complaining. And a security guard who ate at Shauna's religiously said, "I don't know what you guys are looking for, but I go to a soul food restaurant. I really love it. You guys should try it out." They sent in secret eaters to have the food. They enjoyed the food. And that's when they initially sent out that first email 3 weeks ago. So yeah,
this was 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is 3 weeks after they already had the secret eaters come in the restaurant. So yeah, we're in the bubble, and I don't know if we ever really talked about the bubble, but I actually hated it at the time, because when we first got on the app, the NBA players and the staff all had an app. So to order, they called the restaurant. We were able to deliver. They sent us delivery drivers 3 days a week. So if you were Russell Westbrook, you called the restaurant, gave somebody your order for it to be either delivered in 24 hours or 72 hours, depending on which day they called. Yeah. If you're Russell Westbrook, bro, you're not thinking about what you're eating in 24 hours. You're not thinking about what you're eating in 48 hours. definitely not thinking about what you want to eat in 72 hours. So why I hated it so much was that, so if the pickup time was 3 p.m., we would get a phone call at 2 p.m. saying, hey, this is the San Antonio Spurs. We need 500 wings, 400 shrimp. And I'm like, well, I can't do this. You would tell them no. Reps, bro, I would get cursed out. I would get like, why'd they put you on this app? So they didn't know how small the restaurant was. It was like, hey, there's an app on this thing. Order, boom, boom. I'm like, hey, can you guys please just order within the time frame that you're supposed to be ordering from? They ain't hear none of that. And then I don't know if you know, but then eventually I asked my NBA rep to just put my phone number on there, and they started texting their orders. And once the first person got their order, they just got some fried fish the second person, because LeBron James was the first person. The second person, I forget who the player was, got the food, they enjoyed it. And then that's when it started to roll, like, okay, this food's good. Let's just follow the directions. Let's follow the rules. But this is why I still hated it, is because I didn't have a bunch of money when I started Shauna's. Yeah. So let's say the first big order was 500 shrimps. I'm like, oh, they like shrimp. Let me go buy a whole bunch of shrimp. Next week or next couple of days, no one gets shrimp. They want oxtails. I'm like, I don't have enough money to buy shrimp and oxtails. I got the oxtails. Guess what? They want oxtail now. They want chicken wings. So that's why I hate it, is because I just lost so much money because I lost so much money on food. Yeah. I was just buying food not knowing what they were going to order.
Yeah, because you had no numbers to like calculate, okay, how much money does it take to feed in the whole NBA? Right.
If you look, and I still got those emails, if you look at some of these emails, you're like, I'm not KFC. I'm not, Gators. I don't have 20. I have 4 fryers that fit 20 rings each. You talking about 2,500 wings, like, oh my gosh. So it was tough. But obviously after that is when I got the media started picking up. I got the restaurants started getting more popular because the players liked it and da-da-da. But yeah, initially I hated it. Yeah, it was not a good experience during it. And now if I had been a restaurant owner, I would have done better. But mind you, I had never owned a restaurant. It's only my 6th, 7th month in business. I'm still learning everything. Now you're talking about I have to learn like 20. Oh man,
it was a lot. Of moving pieces.
It's a lot of moving pieces, man.
Dang. Would you attribute part of the reason your restaurant is still operating because of the challenges of the pandemic to that?
Oh, 400 million %. 400 million %. Without the NBA bubble, because the NBA bubbles are really put us on in a national spotlight. Now, when people go to Universal or Disney, there's still people to this day that come, oh man, I came here because y'all served the bubble in 2020. I came here because y'all served the bubble in 2020. Oh, LeBron James, I saw 2020. Because of the bubble.
That's why.
Yeah, and now with social media, it's like,
it's easy to just.
Yeah, what players you want to eat like LeBron James? Check out this 2020 bubble. So it's like these little things on TikTok and Instagram that really helped us after. So yeah, without the NBA bubble, I probably would have closed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because the pandemic was a challenging time.
Yeah, I would have figured out
figure out something, but it would have been a lot bigger of a challenge.
Yeah,
had you not had all that influx of like, oh, you weren't expecting the pandemic,
right?
And you weren't expecting to be part of the NBA bubble,
right?
So those are two big things,
huge things.
That one of them you couldn't control at all, no matter how hard you tried. But then one thing brought the other thing on. So that's crazy how that worked out, man.
Oh my god! And I don't know if you remember during the pandemic, they said don't go to restaurants, don't sit together. You've been to my restaurant. Yeah. That is my sitting together is the thing. It's painted on the wall, man. Bring people together. Don't sit by anybody. I'm like, this is them telling people not to come specifically to my restaurant. Everything that they're saying to do is don't do. I'm like, I am screwed. Bring everyone together. Don't sit next to any strangers. My restaurant, you have to sit next to strangers. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so then did Shauna's like open your eyes up to other businesses, or did you already have other businesses before you opened Shauna's?
So,
because like I said, you have your hands in a couple different pots. Yeah. So what kind of?
Hey, you asking some great questions. But yeah, so my business plan. My mom was the first person to see my business plan. And in my business plan, I predicted, I said, Mom, Shauna's is going to really open up a lot of different avenues for money. But it's all going to start with Shauna's. I said, we have to gain people's trust. So at the time, my mom had a home improvement company she was wanting to start. I said, Mom, you have to put that on the back burner because it's all about Shauna's right now. But I was like, if we get people to trust, like if we said we're going to open up at 11 o'clock every day, let's open up at 11 o'clock every day. If we have a menu, we have 25 things on it, let's have these 25 things every day. Because once we build community trust and trust with whoever comes to the restaurant, and your mom, be extra nice, be hospitable, be genuine. Because when our customers find out, hey, Miss Pam has a home improvement, they'll be like, you know what? I trust Miss Pam. I want food at 11. Yeah. They're always open. Like, yeah. I can trust Miss Pam. I say that's how you're going to build your business. But yeah, initially in my business plan, I talked about everything that I'm doing now. It's because it's all going to start with here. I'm going to put all my trust, all my hard work, all my core values in this restaurant, and it's going to bring me different avenues of money. Yeah.
So would you say that was like a very important piece to have that business plan written out, as opposed to just kind of like thinking or trying to like manifest something? Would you say that was very important? Did you ever look back on it and we're like, okay, cool, we're like at step 4, like we need to get to step 10 or, whatever?
100%. And I tell, because I have speaking engagements, not often, but a good amount. And I always tell people it all starts with a business plan. Because if you're feeling overwhelmed by anything, automatically 99% of the time, no, you don't have a business plan. Because if you want to open up a barbershop and you're just thinking like, oh, what's this, what's that, what, oh. But if you have a business plan, it gives you, this is a step. Okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. Once something's written down and you can see it, you can still get overwhelmed, but you're not going to get as much overwhelmed without some kind of plan. You got to have some type of plan.
That's crazy. That's crazy, because I to be honest with you, I've never written any plan down. Everything that I've done, and I mean, granted, I'm not the most successful person in the world yet, but I do okay for myself.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just keep it all in here. But now it's getting to a point. To your point, now it's getting to a point where like there's not enough space in here, and so now I got to start writing things down.
Yeah,
because I can't remember everything. With the insurance business that I have now, with the agents now, with this, it's like you run into speed bumps sometimes, and I feel like if I wrote things down,
and I know how well you do, and then once you write it down, you're gonna do even. You didn't think it's gonna be possible. You can do way better than you're doing just from simply just writing it down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like,
That's great advice, man. So in all those other avenues, Shauna's, still funding them. How are you? Because now you have 2 kids.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you manage your time? Like, what's like, is there a secret, or is there like a strategy or something that you kind of put in place to be like, okay, you get this many hours, you get this many hours, I get this many hours. This is a cutoff date because now it's this time or that time.
Man, you really have a good future in this, for sure. For sure, you have a good future in this. That's another great question.
Thought-provoking questions, man.
Yeah, man, that's really good. So in time, I've learned that everything comes with sacrifices. So my kids.
Say that one more time.
Everything comes with sacrifices.
Oh man, it's so true.
That's so good. My sacrifice, personally, I would say probably friends is my biggest sacrifice. I don't hang out as much as I could because I spend all my energy, not all my energy, but most of my energy on my kids. My business. But so if I'm spending time, my kids, like say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I don't skip those days. And yeah, it could be something like, let's say I haven't seen my best friend in 2, 3, like 4 weeks. It sucks, but you can't do it all. You can't do it all. And that's why people are like, oh, you don't have much friends. I'm like, if I had a lot of friends, then China's wouldn't be as successful. Sounds super successful. I don't have that many friends. Oh, you spend your Sundays with your kids. I spend time with my kids. Oh, I'm missing. It could be something I can help Shauna. It could be something, but your everything, your whole balance. I don't think there's no such thing as successful people. There's no such thing as a healthy balance. You try to get it to as healthy as you can get it. You try to, but it's impossible. Me and my wife, we talk sometimes. I'm not always, say, emotionally there or physically there or whatever it is. Yeah. It happens. And of course, again, you try to okay, let me fix this and let's do that. But someone's going to suffer.
That's
someone's going to suffer. And I remember Jordan said you have to be, once you get to the top, you have to be selfish. And I really didn't understand that until I started rising up. And for me, selfish is like, Yeah. I haven't hung out with you in a while. It's because I'm doing this. Or yeah, I haven't got a chance to support you, man, because I'm busy doing this. But yeah, that's what it is. Like success is going to cost you something, and people think, oh, it's going to cost me back. No, it's going to cost you a lot of great things, But it is
That's
what
the
it
price
is.
you gotta
That's
pay,
the price
man.
you got to pay.
You want to get through, you got to pay the toll.
Yep.
That's a fact.
And it's on
Understand
you
that.
to figure out which is more
Yes.
important to you.
Yes.
And what's
Yes.
more important to you may not be important to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
And like Kobe really taught me this later on in life, because it's like Kobe, like he worked so hard. And in his book, his wife talks about, he missed a lot of birthdays, a lot of graduations. But that's why he's one of the best in the world. That's why they had the biggest house or whatever. This happened.
Yeah.
That you can't. You can't have it all.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. So yeah, that's my thing. Is like it's going to cost you something.
And I've seen a lot of interviews with entrepreneurs, and they say that that's BS, pretty much, for lack of a better term. Like the balance.
Oh yeah.
It's like impossible. Something's gotta give, and I think that's another piece that maybe an aspiring entrepreneur or even a person working the counter, working at a restaurant, doing something, they kind of don't understand it. They think that they can have it all.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that you don't. You can't.
It's
There's not enough hours in the day for you to try to have it all and pursue something that not a lot of people are willing to pursue, right? Because I don't even know what the percentage is, which I'll find out for the next one. But the entrepreneur success rate has got to be low.
Oh yeah.
And the people who actually stick to it more than, I'll probably go as far as like 2 years. That probably gets even lower.
Yeah. And
then the 5 years probably gets even lower. And I feel like you got to understand those sacrifices as you go, because in the beginning, you don't think, dang, I have to miss, my son plays basketball. I have to miss my son's basketball game because I did this, or because I got to try to travel, or because I had a meeting, or because I had a phone call, you don't foresee that coming until it happens. And I have missed, I think, like 1 or 2 at this point, and I feel terrible. But it's like something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
Like the picture is bigger. Vacations. I know a couple of people that they 5, 6, 7 vacations a year. What? How do you have that much time on your hands? Like,
does your life say that you should be taking the 7 vacations? And if it doesn't, don't complain that it doesn't, because you're doing the.
You can't complain how your pockets look later on. So oh man, I can't do this again. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And my wife, she's kind of supportive of like certain routes that we take. We try to find a happy balance with that, man. But I'm just like, yo, we can't go on vacation this month, or for the next 6 months, because I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot on my plate, so we got to figure this out. We will, because that's the goal. That's what we're working towards now, right? So I can, maybe live on vacation.
Right, exactly.
Right? Yeah. And that's why I started the agency. That's why I'm doing this kind of like passion project, or if you will, because it's now that I have the energy to do it. Because, in 5, 10 years, I'm not going to have the same energy I have now. Granted, I'm not old, but I'm not 20 or 25.
And not to cut you off, but it is impressive. Like, obviously, I know you're not, super rich or anything, but for you to figure out you have three kids, to still have time to do a passion project, that really shows like you're doing well for yourself, because you're not like, you still have time to, not saying that your life is perfect, but man, to do a passion project with 3 kids, how many people, 3 kids, they just clocking in, clocking out, just want to work up, man, they ain't doing. So I'm just proud of you to be able to do a passion project.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
And that's like we were talking earlier before we actually officially started recording this. Like, I know I have people that I know that they're like, they're scared of taking that risk and taking that leap of faith. I'm like, listen, man, I've always been the breadwinner in the household, and I've taken so many risks and rolled the dice on so many things, but you figure it out.
Right.
You figure it out as you go. Like, no risk and no reward, right? There's so many sayings that I can go into, like quoting, and people, but it's the truth. When you look back on it, you're like, something's got to give. You got to sacrifice something in order to have something that most people aren't going to have.
Right. So when you doing that, don't look at Dave. Don't look at later on like, oh man, he got this car. They doing a vacation. Like, the only reason I'm able to do this is because of that. When you was like,
how doing this?
Yeah. So y'all keep on. Nothing against y'all. Whatever. Keep on doing y'all thing. I'm keep on doing mine, and yeah.
Yeah, just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up with these couple of things real quick. So people who follow you on social media, you always have some interesting takes.
Oh yeah.
On how you feel about people in Orlando.
Yeah.
Right, and people's outlook on certain things. Like, where does that come from? That need that you feel sometimes you're like, man, somebody's got to hear this? And no, to be fair, you drop some like gems, and I probably agree. I think with probably everything that you said, because it's factual. It's not an opinion. It's not like it's a fact, right? So where do you who do you hope to reach with those things that you do, and what causes that? What inspires that from you?
You know,
I'm curious.
It's me seeing myself in other people, but they're not changing, if that makes sense. Yeah. I will see that person, I will see Josh in that person, and I'm trying to really secretly tell them, and it sounds bad, it sounds like an asshole or whatever, it sounds bad, but I'm really trying to let them see that you're more than what you're doing. And if you take offense to it, then you're just not going to make it. You're not going to do it. But the chosen few who like really take a step back and be like, you know what? He's right. Now, I don't like the tone of his voice. I don't like the way he said it. I don't like his approach. I don't like anything. But the people who really sit down and like really think about what I'm saying, that's who I do it for. Because I wanted someone to do it to me. When I had no one to do it to me. No one did it to me. I figured it out through experience. I took the longest way road. But I'm thinking, if I tell these people right to their face, then I can help out somebody not have to do the long way.
It might cut out a little bit.
It may cut off. It may cut off. It will. It will. So that's the reason why I do it. And again, I'm glad you asked that question, because I know some people think I'm an asshole or whatever. But I come from a good place. Like I really want everybody to win. I don't want nobody to win.
That's the same thing. Same thing, man. I don't. Whenever I see somebody doing better than me or having more than me, I don't like. Damn, why? How come? No, it's like, yo, that's dope.
That's dope. How you
like? How did you get that?
Right.
What can you tell me, or what triggered that? Like, what did you learn? Because listen, man. We all have the same amount of time every single day, right? When you get up in the morning, when I get up in the morning, we put our pants on, like on at a time. We're not jumping in automatic. No. So it's what you do with your time that's going to determine how far along you get in life and what you have, what you don't have, right? So people, that's amazing that you said that, man. Because I didn't have anybody either to like really. Again, my parents South American, first generation American. So I didn't have that like guidance of like, listen, when you're 18, you should do this. Options. You have to figure it out.
You got to figure it out.
And if you don't figure it out, then
you screw it. I don't know if you saw, I made a post once. If someone's doing way better than you, I don't think personally you should. If they're trying to tell you something, I don't think you should ever say, "Man, that person thinks they know everything." Like that person doesn't know everything. They know more than you, so it's okay to listen to them. Just like your son, he's 5 years old. There's not a world where he's gonna tell you how to do anything. You're going to tell him. There's no way. This is how messed up the world is. Your son's 5. It's like you telling your son something, and your son's saying, well, "You think you know everything," and it's like, "Well, I don't know everything, but I know more than you." So just listen. Don't try to feel some type of way of what they're trying to tell you, how they saying it. Just listen, because if the person, they're trying to help you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing, man. I think that people don't take it from a place of like, damn, this dude dropping some gems. They take it from a place of like, yo, why are you coming at me?
Right.
Like, I know what I got to do. Okay, so why don't you do it?
Why don't you do it? Just do it.
Just start, man.
The people that, the way I talk, there's some, because I know a lot of rich, wealthy, the way I talk, they just score right there. Like, I know he's talking to me. Like, if you don't feel a way about it, you know that you're doing all right. Like, oh man, whatever. Like, so whatever. Like, the people who doing it, it's like, oh yeah, but if you feeling some type of way, that means it's something that you know you could be doing or should be doing.
Try to implement in your routine.
Yeah,
whatever.
Get David Goggins.
Yeah.
His approach, like I'm bad. He's way 200 times worse than me. There's times I watch him, and I'm like, you know what, you right. And I'm watching next to somebody. They're like, oh, I hate this dude. I'm like, yeah, you need to be, yeah, because he calling us out. How you want to take it though?
Man, he is just raw.
He is raw, and I love it.
I like it. Yeah. But see, I think like you have to have that ingrained in you of like you don't take it personal.
Hey.
But you gotta realize that you got some shortcomings too.
Yeah.
Like you said, nobody's perfect. Nobody's got it all figured out. No, but you're, learning something today, so you don't have to figure it out tomorrow, and then kind of continuing on to learn and to grasp. But if you want to stay where you're at, then that's where you're like, ooh, his tone, his voice, his attitude, because he's super hardcore, man. If you know who David Goggins is, You do a Google search on David Goggins.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
But let's transition out real quick to, now you have kids, right? Now you have a family. Then we'll kind of close up with this. What's your hopes for your legacy to be? What kind of things are you trying to teach them or instill in them that maybe weren't instilled in you?
I think that it's going to be ownership, and it's no problems with being an employee. I think that's another thing that has started this wildfire within the past 5 to 6 years, where everybody wants to be this entrepreneur. Yeah. I'm not saying everyone needs to be an entrepreneur, because sometimes if you do it right, the middleman can actually make more money than the entrepreneur, because the middleman, they don't have to think about the business 24/7. Like if I had, yes, obviously the restaurant does well, but in the future I wouldn't even want to be a restaurant owner. I would rather have equity in 100 restaurants, or be a restaurant consultant to somebody has me on their books like every Monday and Tuesday. Is that ownership? No, I'm not owning anything, but it's the middleman and just the money just coming in. I have much more time. I don't have to think about I'll sell a certain price, or is the rice high, is the rice cold. All that stuff goes out the window.
Just the responsibility.
It's the responsibility. So when I say ownership, I don't necessarily mean like really owning and just working hard, but just I want to teach them that it's work smart. I'm going all over the place. Man, I just want so much for my kids.
You and me both.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I would just stick with ownership and just know that I don't know. It's hard because I feel like and as I'm saying this, I'm thinking like, damn, maybe I'm doing too much work for them. They're not gonna have to do anything, which has its pros to its cons too. Like those rich entitled kids. Like I don't want rich entitled kids, but I do want y'all to have an upper hand on everybody. But can you get
how you balance that?
Yeah, how do you balance that?
That's another balance that I talk to my brother-in-law, to my wife about, because the way I grew up, and then my wife grew up having way less than I did.
Yeah.
And I didn't have much.
Yeah.
So that's saying something.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you teach them to figure that out? How do you can't train somebody like to your point you said earlier, I'm not going to tell you to go live in New York for 10 years to figure it out, right? Yeah. I'm not going to go move to New Jersey to make my kids stand in a bus stop on a public bus in below 5 weather.
Right. For 4 months.
I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Right.
So how do you? Yeah.
So how do you implement those teachings and those things and to them?
Right.
In an environment living where you live.
Right. That's a whole nother. Yeah, man. Yeah. If I had to choose, final answer, 500, David, is just ownership. Ownership in general.
Of their actions. Ownership of something tangible. Yeah. Ownership of ownership.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
That's great advice, because some people, want to blame somebody and tell somebody. So if you teach them
mentality.
Yeah, there you go. Victim mentality. So if you want them to just own up to everything, own up. Whichever route you take, own up. Try to be the best at it and continue to move forward. Man. That's amazing. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of just rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So reading a book or listening to Audible? All you gotta do is just pick one.
Okay. Do I get to say neither or no?
You can say neither. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Text or phone call? Text. DM or email? Email. Facebook or Instagram? For editing social media stuff, Canva or PowerPoint? Do you use that stuff or no? So neither.
Yeah. No, you gotta choose one.
All right, man. So that kind of wraps it up, man. I think I took already enough of your time for today, but thank you for coming on.
No, this is great.
I really, really appreciate it.
I feel like this was a therapy session too. No, seriously. Yeah, that was good. You asked him some good questions. I really see, I may not have been the best interview, but someone who could speak like you in my seat with what I've dealt with, it's gonna set the world on fire. Those questions with somebody, they could really, really help way more than I could. I'm just being honest.
No, bro. I mean, listen, bro. You dropped some gems.
I appreciate that.
You are where you are. Yeah, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit at this point, to be honest with you. So thanks again for coming on, man. Of course. Shauna's Instagram?
Yeah. _SEANAS _.
Yeah, make sure you follow him. Go try this food. It's in the greater Orlando area.
Yes.
Oxtail, amazing.
Yes.
I mean, I haven't had a dish there that I don't like. The wife loves the chicken wings.
Yeah.
So,
all flats.
Check them out.
LA.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. He remembers the order because it shows you how much we go there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Thanks again. And stay tuned, y'all, for the next one. Blueprints _ podcast, Instagram, YouTube.
Peace.
We out.